All right, this video here, I'm just going to pick back up where I left off, which is when you go to edit a comment, right? Basically, um, it duplicates, right? Because I mean, if you edit it twice, it's going to duplicate. For instance, if I were to reply to this one, I said a reply to a reply. This will duplicate if I decide to edit twice. Or actually, not duplicate. Will reply twice if I edit twice. That's the key. So you know what? I'm just gonna say that's all I'm gonna say. What the? That's all I'm gonna say here. Okay. So reply and what you get is edit whip work in progress. Sorry about that. I modified this string here to edit from edit to edit work in progress because I knew that it wasn't working, so we have to it's a work in progress. We have to make sure it works again. So click on edit whip and then let's reply. And basically it's, it's supposed to only edit instead of reply. But no, notice that this actually sends out probably because I'm replying instead of editing. If I go to refresh this, at the end of this, see, it will send it twice. So I gotta fix this. Maybe so maybe the issue is within this reply, right? So I know that we're gonna reply here, right? Reply, but then but then we also have, say for example, mm, we got a reply here, right? And so then at the very end of this is where you actually do the reply. This is actually the edit. Well, this is actually the reply, but then we have the option to edit it as well. So around here, right? This is actually where we dynamically, right? Update the UI. Okay, so we have the option here to make updates to it. So say for instance, click on reply, reply button appears. I'm just going to type something down, hit reply. Then I now have the option to edit this, but um, let's see. Ooh, what the heck happened here? So I'm just going to say edit whip, right? Every time this is clicked on, we just reset the reply comment, right? Um, which we can, right? And then what we can do here is actually, I think we should have a separate. Once we click on this, we should activate a separate edit, or perhaps maybe, yeah, maybe we should have a separate edit because what it's doing is every time I do this, I activate this reply again. Then what it does is it displays the reply button with the icon of reply, So it's not really, it's a totally different operation, right? It's like, okay, you got edit up here. That's a separate operations. Down here, you have a separate operation, right? So notice that if I do have a reply, if it was legitimately a reply, then then you can edit it and you can pass in the primary key. But the problem is that you don't pass in a primary key here. Well, how do we? Do we just pass in a primary key? So what we don't want to do is we don't want to take shortcuts. That's gonna like mess up our code base, right? So we do not want to take shortcuts. That's that's a no-no. A lot of people just like, just take a shortcut and as long as it works, then realize that they went down the wrong path of development. And then the entire code is like shot. What are you going to do then? You can't do anything else anymore. Right? So it has to be consistent is the key here. Right? It has to be consistent. You should only display things that need to be, things should be sustainable and modular. Like one piece of code does one thing, right? But reuse where necessary, but we're not gonna like throw a bunch of if statements in here for a regular reply if this is meant to update, you know. So we know for a fact that we did get something from the reply comment, right? Um, the only issue here, well, let's double check to make sure that we did get a reply back from this. Notice that the only time that we should have received something, record reply comment, actually it's probably the wrong one, right? Let's try to look at this. We are comment record. So what's interesting is that we should have received something from comment record. The only issue here is that it's not returning a primary key. Let's restart this. So whenever I go to reply, I'm going to say a new reply, right? What I expect from here is a primary key. Somewhere here, it's going to return somewhere, but it's not returning the primary key. That's the problem. That's messed up. What I should return is the saved comment, right? The saved comment. Now let's double check because like last time we updated this, right? So just be on the safe side, right? Just be on the safe side because saved comment record. All right, saved comment record. That is what we're supposed to have returned. Okay. Okay. So do we reply comment record? Ideally we should have we should probably name this to something that really matters. Maybe we should rename this to like saved reply comment record. And this one's actually the saved edit comment record here, right? I don't know. I'm cleaning my code up as we go. Right. we want to do now is we really want to, let's do a test again. Okay, so as you can tell, like as I'm going through the code here, I'm making more, I'm bringing more meaning to my code here. Okay. Because I want to make a lot more sense of the code that I'm dealing with right now, right? Because as you get more complicated, you need to extract very detailed meaning from all of your variables, your naming conventions. It's very, very important that you really get hardcore with your meaning because like it's gonna get complicated. And if you don't have the right meaning, it's gonna like destroy you. Right. So all right, so look, check this out. We got this ready. I'm thinking at this point, if I edit this work in progress here, notice that it completely wiped this out. So if I every time that I do a work in progress edit whip, every time that I do this, okay, every time that I do this, what I'm attempting to do is wipe out the saved, and I have to click on that, meaning if I click on that, then it wipes this out. And essentially, if I wipe that out, then it is saying as if nothing was saved. Okay. You know what? Before we do that, if you go to this site, I'm just gonna draw this right here. If you go to this site here, and I'm sorry for wasting your time here, but you know, I have a few things going on here, so I just wanna. Every time I touch this application, I wanna add value to it. Notice that if I move my mouse over here to the image here, nothing happens. Right? But if I move my mouse to this like thumbs up icon, it displays something. So well, a sort of a, they call it low-hanging fruit. Is anything that you can do to improve on the software, right? So you have fucker. So you have avatar here. So main avatar here, you could always add a caption to this. When you mouse over it or something, you know, you could always add a caption. So let's say, for example, this here. What we really want to do is we want to take the user of this, this is in a no, this is not in a for each loop, which is fine. What we do know is that we want this, right? We want to generate this from the actual user. So what we'll do here is we'll say in here, you know, we could do like user logics, something like this, and then we'll do we could do something like this. We could do like um, user profile caption and something like that. What we're attempting to do here is we're trying to capture the created by first name and the user profile caption. Right, here we go. So, and we want to do this for all of our user images, right? So we want to also do caption here, and we want to apply the same code here. Actually, you know what? Not here, right here, right? So we want to apply that here, not here, but here. This is the logged in user. Keep that in mind, because we are responding as this user here. So that's how we do it. Save. What's going to happen here is if you go to the site now, that you move your mouse over it, it says Mike Chu or something, right? Lena Show, right? So even if you reply to it, move your mouse over it, right? So we got, at least we added some value in this video here, right? But you know, we still have to resolve the edit of the comment. Whenever we go to reply, and we save that to the database, and we go to edit it. We still have to edit it, right? So, like for example, I'm gonna edit this one up here. And okay, here's the thing too. What's kind of weird is if I click on reply, I get this blue box here. Right? If I click edit, I get this white box here. So I don't know if I don't know if this is visually easy to understand that this is a text field here, right? So it's not so easy to it's not really that easy to portray this. But if you click on edit, perhaps maybe this thing should be a little bit more blue, right? Color, this should be accent. So we can modify that. Let's look for our accent, because I remember it's called accent, right? Let's take a right here. So this here is accent, and this is a card layout, right? So this is actually um, icon. No, actually, no. This is not it. Paragraph field. It's the card layout that contains the card layout contains the style is transparent. It's not this one. It's the next one. Yeah, this is the card layout that contains this guy right here. So what should we say? Okay, so I mean, it's within reply, right? So let's take a look at card layout up here, and the styles info basically, right? So there's a paragraph field at some point. All of the paragraph field should have the style of info where there is a paragraph. Maybe this one is already a duplicate keyword here. Yeah. So um, let's go to the top one. What do you mean duplicate? Are you saying that it's transparent? This is not right. So info, right? So let's look up the well, I only want the style to be transparent only if only oh stupid. Okay. There's another paragraph here that we have to capture. Let's go to it directly, right? So here, right, and it's down here. Oh, this is going to be a duplicate too. But obviously, when you go to edit, right? When you go to edit, you say this is my comment. It's right here. Well, no, there's a paragraph field somewhere right here, right? Okay, so we have to change this to info, and it's gonna affect. It's gonna affect even when you go to even when you're displaying this, right? So the question is, are we okay with this? Well, let's take a look at it. See if we are. I think this looks a lot better. You know, move my mouse over, names appear here. If I go to edit this, right, this is nice. I like this. It's got a really clean vibe to it. Right. This down here as well. It's got a nice clean vibe to it. If I were to edit this, let's see what happens. Yeah, still got a nice clean vibe to it. We'll keep this way because these are like kind of like chat bubbles, you know. So, well, you know what's interesting is do people care about seeing all of this? You know, like how far can this thing go? Imagine if you didn't have this many replies. Let's look at how far we have to scroll for this, right? So, you know, I'm thinking that we could potentially just say, I really like this. So I really like this icon here, this avatar, these avatars. You know, it's really, really cool. Right. So let's suppose that let's modify this slightly, right? Instead of going to sites, I want to just kind of play with it a little bit here, right? We're just gonna edit the expression and we're just going to say, you know what? Let's play with 51, something like that. Save changes. Go to the site. We're gonna play with comment 51 here, right? Let's clean this up. Edit. So I updated it 5 seconds ago. Ideally, maybe should have said something like who edited. Well, I mean, because you can only edit your own, so yeah, that's no problem. But if imagine if you saw somebody uh, update a code or something like that, it should say up edited or something, you know, for accountability sake. Because like, you really don't want people just to go in there and just to type some bullshit down. I mean, everything's tracked inside of Appian, right? But honestly, okay, so check this out, right? I'm just gonna do a reply to this. This is applying to see page scroll bar. So you notice there's no scroll bar here anymore, right? So this page only grows depending on how many interacts with it. And I wish we could I wish we could have it such that it you can control the like you could click plus and it gets nobody can read all of this all of the time all at once. So it's good to be able to just like search through it. If it's even possible to search through it, you can build a very nice hierarchy of code. And you could always like filter your comment by that. You can say I want to find all threads that has the hi I am comment ID 51 or something, right? It would be so nice to be able to do that. You could search the tree pretty much, right? That would be amazing if you could search the tree. So like that would be really cool. Um, so anyways, I got these pieces done here. I'm gonna go eat. The problem with this is that we have to have separate buttons for being able to edit an existing reply, a most recent reply. And I almost think that that's the final piece of the puzzle here. Like there is probably no more ways to improve this unless we want to upload documents and stuff, right? So if you want to upload documents, perhaps maybe below this sizable paragraph field, you know, we might have some like documents or something that we want to like we want to extend and stuff, you know. And you know, you can have a highly collaborative environment here, but it has to be tested first. It has to be tested such that you know you got a comment system here where people are clicking and talking and creating a new post here, right? And stuff like that. So, anyways, this is I'll jump back on this as soon as after I eat.